Mindset, a daily dose of practical wit and wisdom with a professional educator and trainer, Amazon best-selling author, United States Marine, television and radio host, Paul G. Markle. Each episode will focus on positive and productive ways to strengthen your mindset and help you improve your relationships, career goals, and overall well-being. Please welcome your host, Paul G. Markle.
Hello, welcome back to Morning Mindset. How are you guys doing today? All right, fantastic. I'm glad to hear it. Nothing like one-way conversations, huh? And I hope you guys are looking forward to the book study as much as I am. I am looking forward to the book study, which we will begin next week. All right, speaking of books and writing, I've been writing professionally for, at least 25 years now. Going on a little bit more than 25 years, and I've probably written, over 1,000 articles and about a dozen books or so. And one of the things I developed over the years is a pattern or a habit for my writing and my creative endeavors. And yes, it is a creative endeavor because you have to take the words and come up with something hopefully that people will enjoy and is intelligent and makes sense to them. And I started, I guess with my very first book, or maybe it was my second book, I can't remember. I would sit down and I would light a cigar and I would write the notes. I would write the notes for myself because back then when I first began writing, now I didn't use a typewriter. I wasn't like Hemingway. I wasn't, hacking on the keys there. I knew how to type, but no, when I first started writing, the only computer that was available to me, we had word processors and, we had desktops. Remember the old desktops with the big white tube monitors and so forth? And I don't smoke cigars inside of the house. I'll smoke them in the garage or I'll smoke them outside. And I certainly didn't smoke cigars when I was in my office at work. So I would light a cigar and I would take either a spiral-bound notebook or a yellow notepad, and I would sketch out all of the topics and highlights for whatever I was going to write. I would take all the notes and I would do that while I was smoking my cigar. And then, due to the miracle and the advent of technology, when laptops became more prevalent, I remember when laptops were super expensive and the only people that had them were business people because they were paid for with business accounts. And, they were in the, thousands of dollars, but now obviously laptops are available to just about anybody who would possibly want one. And you can take your writing tool anywhere you want to go, outside, into the garage or what have you. And so that is what I do now. When I am working on a writing project, generally, if I need to sit down, have some quiet time and do some creative thinking, I will brew myself a cup of coffee or a pot of coffee, depending, a good dark roast coffee, and I will light a cigar, and then I will begin writing. I will sit down and I'll go through the writing process. And that is my process. That is my pattern. That is something that I've developed over the years. And as silly as it sounds, you're like, well, couldn't you just write without any of those things? Yeah, I could, but I don't want to. And I feel comfortable doing that. I have my process. I have my pattern. Now, human beings are creatures of habit, as you know. We have good habits and then we have bad habits. We have habits that help us to be productive. And then some people have destructive habits that don't help you at all. They take away from the positive. But the productive pattern that I've developed through my writing, I know from my own personal standpoint that it helps me, that it aids me in the process of getting myself ready to write, to create, to put words down on paper. Many athletes, if you talk to a person who makes their living as an athlete or who is a professional athlete, they have a routine, a pattern. They have something that they go through to prepare themselves to do that endeavor, whatever it happens to be. And it helps them both physically and psychologically to prepare for the task at hand. If you are stuck from a creative standpoint, maybe you need to create, maybe you need to produce, maybe you need to be productive, and you find that you're getting stuck, you might want to examine your own habits and figure out whether or not you have a positive pattern or a productive pattern, or whether or not your pattern is all screwed up. Maybe you used to do it one way, and then you moved, or you changed offices, or you did something else, and now you find that things don't flow the way they used to flow. I know that I actually have a favorite chair. I have a favorite chair that I sit in, and I've had that chair now for, I don't know, at least 11 years or so. I've had that chair. And with my butt in that chair, I have written tens of thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of words sitting in that chair. Got my little routine. I have my little table, got my ashtray, I got where my cigar goes, I got where my coffee cup goes, I got my laptop, and I sit and I produce. And it helps me to do that. Maybe if you're not comfortable, maybe if you don't feel like you're performing the way that you should be performing, it's because your pattern has gotten screwed up. Someone moved your cheese. Yes, a friend of mine told me years ago about the book, Who Moved My Cheese? And it's about how human beings don't enjoy, or they get screwed up when things change and when things are different. So maybe what you need to do for yourself, and I would recommend this to you if you are beginning or starting on a journey where you're going to have to write or create or produce, a positive pattern, a good habit, something that helps you get ready to do it. And I know that people say, it doesn't, if you're a pro, you should be able to do anything, anywhere, on demand. I like how people say that. It's like professional comedians, people who make their living doing comedy. And I actually have a good friend of mine who's a stand-up comic, and he's, been on TV and in movies and so forth. And when people say, oh, you're a comedian, say something funny. That's not how that works. All right, well, if you're really good at it, you'd just be able to do it right there. Really? Is that how that works? Says the person who doesn't do it for a living. I have a very similar situation where I've been put on the spot where someone will say, come up with, I need 2 sentences for this. Go. Well, that's not how that works. You don't just say go and I turn it on. Now, I'll probably be able to come up with something for you, but I don't work on demand like that. So if you're looking for a way to help you improve your creativity or increase your creativity or productivity, consider your pattern. Consider the pattern that you use or the habit that you use. And you're going to be unique. Everyone's going to be unique. Maybe you like to brew iced tea, or maybe you like, I don't know, whatever your bag is, man. But, my productive pattern for writing is I brew the coffee, I light the cigar, I sit down, I open the laptop, I have my favorite chair, and boom, I produce. And it's worked out well for me. And hopefully that you will be able to develop positive patterns and habits to enable yourself to create. I thought I'd just share that with you guys. All right. We got a couple of episodes, and then we will be into the book study, the Morning Mindset book study. It's going to start on September 4th. And if you would like to join us, I hope that you want to join us and read along and, go chapter 1, 2, 3, all that good stuff. The Morning Mindset book's available on Amazon. It's available on Kindle. And if you go to morningmindsetpodcast.com, you can order yourself up an autographed copy. All right, folks, I am your host, Paul Markle, and I will talk to you again real soon.
Thank you for spending time with us today. To get show notes, submit a topic request, and for more from your host, Paul G. Markle, visit morningmindsetpodcast.com. That's morningmindsetpodcast.com. Please leave a review for this podcast on your favorite podcast player. We appreciate your time and effort, and we look forward to reading your honest feedback.